Officials did not answer questions about how they choose which parts of the city they cut power to and which they don't, except to say they try to avoid critical infrastructure such as hospitals. Yeah, and really, these devils, they're not telling you, they're not going into specifics, because they would have to mention how they it's based off of basically where their people live. They're not gonna they're not gonna cut the power to, or if anything, it's just like a rolling blackout that they're gonna experience and not that long at all where they live, right? And then where Jake lives, it's gonna be longer. Encore officials said they tried to trade power among neighborhoods but were unsuccessful because of the grid's weakened stability. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins said in a call Monday with Encore spokesman Kerry Dunn. So, this is what's called plausible deniability. Oh, our grid's weakening stability. This is why you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you Israelites that being like unto the speckled bird are in are in darkness. Is why y'all ain't got no power, while Esau is the one that, while our people, I'm like saying what they want. What if Esau was honest, he would say this shit, right? this Edomite judge, Clay Jenkins, he would, I'm not sure, he could be, I don't know. If he's not, he speaks for Esau. If Esau was honest, like straight up honest, he would say that. Yeah, it's because we don't care about you niggas. We're gonna provide power for our people, but you niggas are gonna be left in darkness and in the cold. But of course, this devil is not honest. He's the devil. He's a false accuser and a deceiver. A deceiver, a liar, right? That's how that's how this devil is. He's a compulsive liar, quote unquote. Hey, he lies as soon as he's estranged from the womb, right? That's hey, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They be they be let me get that precept. The wicked are estranged from the womb. The wicked are estranged from the womb. There you go. Psalm 58 and 3. The wicked, hold on. Yeah. Psalm 58 and 3. Yeah, the wicked are estranged from the womb, Salakia. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. You know. So these devils, they are compulsive liars by nature. Quote unquote. We recognize this what these devils, crouching, right? We recognize the hardships and extreme frustration, crouching, hold on. Crouching, I'm referring to Ecclesiasticus 11, right? He humbled himself and going crouching, right? So what this devil do? We recognize the hardships and the extreme frustration customers without power face during these historical low temperatures and are ready to deliver power as soon as electric generators are able to provide it. "Quote unquote," Ankur said Tuesday on Twitter. This is what this devil's doing. He's talking. He's speaking fair to you. You know, as soon as enough generation is available, we will return to regular cadence of rotating outages with the goal of providing any temporary relief that we can for those who have been without power the longest, quote unquote. Basically, don't worry, we got y'all. We here to help. Esau spitting game to your ear and shit. You know, yeah. Telling lies to your vision, right? An on-court representative would only refer to a news relief that did not answer release Salakia that did not answer questions about how neighborhoods were chosen for outages. Of course not. Of course not. Why would they do that? Why would Esau tell the truth? Think about it. Governor Greg Abbott called on legislators who are now in session to investigate ERCOT his handling of the storm. So of course they're going to be like, they're going to provide that little controlled that not controlled opposition, well, kind of sort of, but not more the Hegelian dialect, right? Make you think you have a fighting chance. Yeah, don't worry, Governor Greg Abbott got your back, right? "Quote unquote," the Electric Reliability Council of Texas has been anything but reliable This fucking devil, man. I didn't even click out. And this devil kicked me out of my own live. This fucking devil was getting caught, man. He he was getting caught, so he got mad and he got in his feelings and he kicked me out of my life because I was putting this devil on blast. I see you, Esau. I see you. You not slick. Well, basically, what I was saying before, I was saying, but Esau interrupted me. Basically, these devils, they're making excuses for the shit they have and for the shit they doing, and they're crouching. They're crouching down. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 style. Yeah, we understand. We got your back type shit. Basically, we understand what you're going through. We know how it is. Like, the fuck you do. The fuck you don't. You don't know how it is. Like, but they're gonna talk that talk, spit that game, that the words of his mouth are smoother than butter. Don't worry, we got you. They also Esau playing that hero role, right? Esau trying to make you look, trying to make you think he the hero. He gonna save the day. Yeah, just come to Egypt for help, type shit. An uncle representative would only refer to a news release. I think I was interrupted around this point. Esau was turning beet red at that point. Let me check and see if my live is still up. If I'm still on there. Yeah. Esau was turning beet red. Lobster red. An encore representative would only refer to a news release that did not answer questions about neighborhoods were chosen for outages. Governor Greg Abbott called on legislators, which are now in session, to investigate ERCOT in its handling of the storm. Of course, Esau gotta act like he gonna save the day, right? Yeah, just come to Egypt for help, Don't fear, Esau is here. Type shit. That's what he do. Quote unquote, the Electric Reliability Council, and don't fear, Esau is here. Don't fear, Uncle Satan is here. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas has been anything but reliable over the past 48 hours, quote unquote, he said. Quote unquote, reviewing hey, no shit, right? Review, of course. Thanks for stating the obvious. Quote unquote, reviewing the preparations and decisions by ERCOT as an emergency item so we can get a full picture of what caused this problem and find long-term solutions, quote unquote, Abbott said. Quote unquote, I thank my partners in the House and Senate for acting quickly on this challenge, and I'll work with them to enhance Texas's electric grid and ensure that our state never experiences power outages like this again, You get the picture of this devil trying to paint, right? Show himself as basically he's gonna save the day. That's what these devils do, man. They got God complex, right? He wants you to look at him as Hamashiach, the Messiah. Just look to Esau to save you. Hey, it's also called you have a savior complex. ERCOT officials did not provide state legislators with a specific estimate for when outages might end. Quote unquote, after being pushed by lawmakers, ERCOT would only say that it could be days before power is restored for all customers, quote unquote. State Representative Rafael Anchia, Democrat from Dallas, posted on Twitter, quote unquote, in an email to members. ERCOT said, even if there's good progress, returning to normal conditions is gonna take additional time. State Representative Jean Wu, Democrat from Houston, wrote on Twitter that ERCOT told lawmakers that it knew last week that controlled outages would be needed, but it did not communicate that to the public until Sunday. Very interesting. That's very fucking interesting. That is very fucking interesting. That's inconsistency right there. They knew last week. They knew last week. Showing you that all this shit planned out, man. They didn't knew last week, but they did not communicate. They did not tell us till Sunday because they don't tell. It's all planned out, man. It's all like it's a fucking puppet show, man. All this shit with these politicians acting like they give a fuck, acting like they gonna do something. You know, you know, yeah, man. It's all a puppet show. Make you think that they're fighting for you and shit. Quote unquote. They apologized for not letting the public know that this was what was gonna happen. Quote unquote. Wu said. ERCOT is not responsible for who gets blacked out. Tweet Gene Wu, Gene for Texas. That goes for the at Gene for Texas. That goes to the transmission entity. Encore, Centerpoint, and co-ops decide how to rotate the blackouts. ERCOT just tells them how much load to shed. The expected blackout cycle is supposed to be 24 on, 24 off. The only regulation on blackouts is about first responders is in critical infrastructure. Downtown and hospitals are critical, I would guess. They apologized for not letting the public know that this was going to happen. They knew this was coming last week. Yeah, showing you, man. Showing you. You know, that, hey, this is all being done, this is all by design. During a call with reporters Tuesday, Magnus and Woodfin did not say they knew outages would be needed last week, but they did say they saw the storm coming and were prepared for weather similar in severity to what Texas faced 2011 2018. But they realized Sunday that conditions this week would be much, much worse than other storms inflicted. Yeah, so that's basically the shit that they're saying, like their excuse, right? Plausible deniability, right? Quote unquote. What we saw this week is a historic, unprecedented weather event, Magnus said. Quote unquote, there will and there should be a significant review of this event. A big winter storm in 2011 also knocked power generators offline and prompted rolling blackouts in the state. Lawmakers conducted hearings and demanded changes to prevent similar problems, but they're saying this one's worse. Glenn Hagar, and it was worse. I was around 2011, of course. This storm was much worse. Glenn Hagar, a Republican state senator at the time, authored a bill which became law that requires a state to track and report how well prepared the state's electric grid is for extreme weather. Quote unquote, when I passed this legislation, it was intended to identify the mistakes made in 2011 and ensure that our power grid, including our generation capacity, was prepared for winter weather emergencies. Quote unquote, Hagar, who is now state comptroller, said in a written statement, quote unquote, while the issues are plaguing our electric grid system. So basically, they're saying that hold on. Let me read through this shit, see if I already got to the point. Basically, they're saying that like they're gonna take care of it or whatever. Of course, of course, of course. They're gonna have you think that they're that that they got your back, these politicians. The Edomites, right? The Edomite politicians and those who serve, of course, even if they're not, the politicians are not Edomites themselves, they serve this Esau system, right? They're puppets. Of course, Esau gonna come and act like he gonna save the day. So you keep going to Egypt for help because they're the modern day Egyptians and Sodomites. They the modern day Babylonians, Egyptians, Sodomites, of course Romans. They was the ancient Romans as well. Shalom Mak. Shalom Mak. Yahba Shimyal Shai Brakatah. Khan, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted soul is his wickedness. Khan, Esau has shown his people his horns before, but what did our people do when Esau said he changed? They believed him, and there's a saying in the world that goes like this: when someone shows you who they really are the first time, believe them. But our people didn't believe. Our people didn't follow that advice, which is very good advice, and it actually lines up with Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Instead, they want to trust in this devil. They want to trust in Egypt. Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mount, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's what our people do, They gonna go to these warming centers because they trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. You're gonna be confused, confounded, because you thought this man was your friend, and you thought he was gonna help you. Verse 4, for his princes were his own, and his ambassadors came to Hannes. Verse 5, they were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor being helped nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach. A shame and also a reproach. Verse 6, the burden of the beasts of the south into a land of trouble and anguish, from whence come the young and old lion, the viper and fiery flying serpent. They will carry their riches upon the shoulders of young asses, and their treasures upon the bunches of camel, to a people that shall not profit them. Continue going to these same devils for help, the same devils that are causing you to go through hell. They're bringing the hell on you. They're the wicked, the sword of the Most High Yahweh. They're the wicked. Hey, but you continue going to the wicked for help, to the unjust judge for help. Verse 7, for the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this, their strength is a sit still. Because really, the help that they give you is bullshit. The help that they give you, don't really help you. Or if it do, temporarily, and it comes with strings attached. There's a catch. Verse 8, now go, write it before them in the table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. Hey, y'all gonna find out the catch with them warming centers too. Like I said, like I was going into earlier, y'all go over there, and it's a large amount of people in there, and some people, they got a cold, right? And that cold start going around, and Esau tell you have the Rona, give you the jab there. You take the jab or else, and then you're gonna realize that was the catch. Verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not, unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. We've been out here warning you about this devil. We've been out here warning you not to come nigh to this wild beast, not to try to charm this serpent. He's like the deaf adder that can't be charmed. We've been warning you about that. But what did y'all say? What did y'all tell us? This is basically what y'all told us. Verse 11, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Y'all told us to shut the fuck up. Y'all told us to stop killing your vibe. Y'all scoffed at us, called us prophets of doom, called us conspiracy theorists, called us a cult. Verse 12, they called us bumites. Verse 12, wherefore they called our garments tablecloths, all that, talked all kinds of shit about us, said we had no life. Verse 12, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because he despised this word, and trusted in oppression and perverseness, and stayed thereon. Verse 13, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant, because this covering is not going to protect you. This covering is going to fail you. It's already failing you. The warming centers, not going to be there to help you. It's going to be they're there for your detriment. It's a trap. Verse 14, and he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces, he shall not spare, so there shall not be found in the bursting of it assured to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal out of the pit. Verse 15, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not, in returning and rest and repenting, repenting, turn back, come out over my people. Yet Jeremiah 4:22, for my people was foolish, they have not known me, they are sottish children, they have none understanding, they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. They're wise to do evil. Wise to finesse your brother. Wise to sell drugs. Jake know how to sell drugs or pharmacia. Jake is a fucking expert at that shit. Jake is a fucking expert out of fucking his brother's woman, behind his back so we don't find out. Jake is an expert at all that, murdering his brother and shit. Eve is an expert at being a whore behind her man's back. Riding the carousel behind her man's back. Eve is an expert at that. If any of y'all want to know how to do it, I'm not suggesting you do this at all, but hey, Eve is an expert at that. Verse 16, but ye said, no, for we will flee upon horses, therefore shall ye flee. Relying upon Egypt for help, going to Egypt, fleeing to Egypt. And we will ride upon the swift, therefore shall they that pursue you be swift, right? As swift as the eagle, right? Like it talked about in Lamentation. Esau is gonna pursue you. He's gonna Slakia, I dropped my phone. He's gonna pursue you. He's gonna come down with great wrath. He's gonna roll on you like a flood. Lamentations 4 and even 17 kind of goes into this. It's going to be times of lamentations all over again. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Verse 18, they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Verse 19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountain. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. Yep. Mm-hmm. Therefore shall they that pursue you be swift. Verse 17, 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one, at the rebuke of five shall ye flee, till ye be left as a beacon upon the top of the mountain, as an ensign on the hill. Because these are the curses. All these curses of Deuteronomy 28 coming to destroy you 2/3. The full fulfillment of all these curses in one time period. Jacob's trouble. Because you trust in oppression and perverseness. Yeah. And he goes further into it here, basically saying the same thing, but in a different way. Isaiah 31:1, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and the horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek they Yahweh. Neither seek Yahweh. Verse 2, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Yep. Verse 3, now the Egyptians are men and not powers, and the horse is flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hopeth shall fall together, and they all shall fall together. Yeah. So, even the help that you do get from these devils is gonna fail you. Cause you devils, cause you niggas, man, you do anything but repent. Let me get another precept on that. I bring out this precept a lot, but hey, it applies here too. Proverbs 1:20, what the prophets have been doing. Wisdom cried without, she uttered her voice in the streets. Verse 21, she cried in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, verse 22, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? How long? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Verse 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. This is a message we sending out right now. We've been sending out since Abba Bivens was out there in the late 60s, mid to late 60s. Verse 24, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out mine hand and no man regarded. Verse 25, but this is what y'all did, but ye have set it not on all my counsel and with none of my reproof. Instead y'all talk shit. Not only did y'all ignore and disregard, but y'all talk shit. Y'all scoffed. Made videos about scoffing videos about the prophets. Left comments talking shit. You know, even talk shit to their faces. You know, y'all talk shit both to their faces and behind their backs. Much more of y'all behind their backs. Y'all scoffed and scorned. So, because y'all did that, verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Verse 27, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You know, they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You know, because in that day, you're going to realize that you fucked up. Y'all going to realize that, damn, we should have listened to those men, those men in them garments, you know, that we called bugged out. Those, they called men in tablecloths, right? Them bummites should listen to them. You know, hey, Shabazz the disciple, you know, he shouted out the men of GMS, and also like-minded Akim because we teach the same thing. Hey, Shabazz the disciple, you know, he was actually the Most High Yahweh actually opened up his mind, so he'd be able to see it. You know, he got the eyes to see. You know, hey, Kala Yahweh Shem Shai for that. But you know, you 2/3, y'all ain't got the eyes to see or the ears to see, the ears to hear. Cause hey, you know, you may have a 20/20 vision and perfect on point hearing, but hey, the mind, the eyes are useless and the ears are useless when the mind is blind and deaf. Verse 29, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. You know, you hated knowledge, man. You despised it. You know, you act like you 2/3 when people talk to you about the truth, y'all act like it's a chore to listen to it. Y'all like, damn, like y'all act like how kids act like whenever you're in a class and it's that one teacher that's strict as fucking shit. That's how y'all act like y'all just except we giving you knowledge that's actually useful. That knowledge that knowledge is gonna save your life. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Not this useless bullshit they teach you in school. But y'all treat it the same. I would say worse. I'd say worse. Proverbs 12:23, Khan, a prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. Khan. That's what y'all do. That's exactly what y'all do, man. Hey, a good example of that also is these challenges. So I call them challenges for the mentally challenged. You know, like the Gorilla Glue challenge. You Jakes putting Gorilla Glue, you Jakes and Eves putting Gorilla Glue in your hair, putting Gorilla Glue on your lip, putting Gorilla Glue on putting Gorilla Tape on your box and waxing it. No, that's foolishness. That's an example of that. You know, one of many examples of foolishness. Yeah, there's a video of this chick talking about waxing her her box with gorilla glue tape. No bullshit. You know, that's foolishness. That's foolishness because hey, what about what about the what about the follow the law, statutes, and commandments challenge? What about the law of Moses challenge? You know, yeah. What about the get right challenge, the repent challenge? And that's actually a challenge. What about that? No, it's a real challenge that's also beneficial for you. You won't, y'all won't do that. Y'all won't do that. Y'all do anything but. Y'all snort condoms before you do that shit. Y'all eat Tide Pods before you do that shit. Proclaiming foolishness, you know, that's what the heart of fools do. You know, the prudent man concealed knowledge, because in that day, our tongues are gonna cleave to the roof of our mouth. You know, because we've been out there pushing it out there on the highways and byways for the longest, and y'all still didn't get it. It went straight over your heads. So, you know, hey, he's gonna make our tongue to cleave to the roof of our mouth. And there's gonna be an actual famine of the word. We're gonna be on the run. We ain't got no time to break down the names, or to break down, you know, who Esau is and all that. What Babylon the Great is, prophecies and 12 tribe chart, all that. We're not gonna have the time to do that shit. We're gonna be on the run. Let me get that precept. Ezekiel 3:24. Then the Spirit entered me and set me upon my feet and spake with me and said unto me, Go shut thyself within thine house. Verse 25. But thou, son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee now, and shall bind thee with them, and shall not go out among them. Verse 26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. You know, you because you should know better by now. You know, it's like this, all right. A brother that I used to know, right? He put it this way. It's like you have a kid, right? And I think I've actually brought this out before, but it's been a while. But you have a kid, and he you tell him not to do something, or he's gonna eat shit or bust his ass, right? Bust his face. He's gonna fuck himself up, right? And then he still does it. He still does it, and he ends up eating shit. And you warn him about it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know, what are you gonna do if he keep doing it, man? You're gonna be like, well, I fucking told you so. Like, hey, it say the Most High Yahweh is gonna laugh at your calamity. You kind of gonna laugh. Come on, you kind of gonna laugh. If you know that nigga eat shit after you told him that he was gonna if he did that shit, you kind of gonna laugh, right? Well, Most High Yahweh himself, our Heavenly Father, is gonna laugh at y'all. Amos 8:11. Khan, that famine in the word is coming. Esau kicked me out of my life earlier, and I didn't even click out of this the browser app. I was still on the browser. I have my phone. I have all that tabs open on my phone. I didn't click out of the browser. Usually that don't happen when you're still on the browser. So Esau was fucking with my life. Yeah, that's just another sign of the famine of the word. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, say Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing words of Yahweh. Khan. You ain't. Hey, this wisdom will no longer be available to you. Hey, this truth is a limited edition. It's not always going to be available to you. Get it while it's hot. Yeah, Khan. Verse 12 is how bad it's going to get. 12, 13, 14. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. Verse 13, in that day. So you're going to run to and fro from the north to the east, to and fro, right? To seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it. You're going to be seeking after that book, like you're going to be seeking after that book of Eli, that represent the Bible. People were seeking after that book. Verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. And we gonna be like Eli, not gonna show you. Verse 14, they that swear by the sin of Samaria and say thy God, old Dan, liveth, and the manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again. Yeah, you 2/3 are going to fall. You ain't going to rise up again. You're going to come back through the loins of the elect. Yeah. Verse 30, they will none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. Verse 31, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. So you're going to eat your words, and your wicked deeds that y'all committed against the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Y'all know who you all are, man. Abusing the prophets. Y'all are gonna your ass. See, Esau buffered it. He got mad. I got to him. Verse 32. I was speaking of the famine of the word too, and then Esau buffered my life. Hey, speak of the devil, right? Because Esau gonna bring that famine. Verse 32. But really, Esau is being controlled by the Most High Yahweh. He's controlled opposition. Verse 32, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Yep, turning away of the simple. No, you 2/3 sottish children, turning away from the truth, because you think shit is sweet. It's gonna destroy you. That very choice, that choice is gonna come back to haunt you. It's gonna come back to bite you in the ass. Verse 33, whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Speaking of the elect, because the elect listened when the Most High Yahweh told them to come home. When he sent his son, he sent the prophets, he sent their big brothers out here to warn them to come home because of the incoming storm. But you 2/3 didn't. Y'all stayed out, because y'all a bunch of sottish, stubborn, hard-headed children. So that's gonna destroy you. That's gonna slay you. You're not gonna be quiet from fear of evil. You're gonna be full of it. That the evil is gonna overtake you. These troubles are gonna overtake you 2/3. But for his elect, there's a precept that says, talks about, hey, Job 6:19, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yet in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. Verse 20, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Hey, so, and that famine and that sword is coming. Verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Those unrighteous decrees, that propaganda, all that scourge of the tongue, right? Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Hey, you're gonna be quiet from fear of evil. Verse 22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Let me tell you something, them beasts, they about to fuck shit up out here. Them beasts about to wild out. Them wild beasts about to wild out, and them domesticated beasts as well. Exodus 32:9, and Yahweh said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Khan, you know, y'all that same generation that died in the wilderness because y'all was too stubborn and stiff-necked. Y'all had to come back through the loins of the elect back then. Hey, the first Exodus, hey, y'all had to come back through them loins of the elect before coming into the promise. That's how y'all came into the promised land. Y'all was born into it. And hey, the second Exodus, hey, the same. You know, you 2/3, you rebels, y'all are gonna be reborn through the loins of the elect. Versus the elect who are gonna enter the promised land in their glorified bodies. You know, Yahweh Ratazah, we be a part of them, you know. But it's looking like who's the elect and who's not is becoming more apparent, even though it's not all the way apparent. Right? The mindset of an elect of Yasharallah is different than the mindset of a 2/3. Yeah. Verse 23, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. Hey, you know, and you know some, and you know how I have like I have a pet cat, you know, was the family pet where I live. Hey, this cat was gonna eat our food. This cat was looking at our food, smelling it, was gonna eat that shit. And she only been in the crib like probably for a few hours, you know. But we had to keep her in the crib. Couldn't really let her out like that because of the cold and all that. And she was gonna eat her food 2 times she tried, but she was caught before she did it. Imagine when the famine hit. These family pets are cooped up in the crib, no food. They're gonna that's the type of shit they're gonna do. They're gonna eat. They're gonna eat your food, and then you don't have no food. Well. What's next? Your ass. They're gonna eat you. They're gonna turn on you. Yeah, you're your Labrador Retriever. You know, your Labrador Retriever. You wouldn't think you don't think he would do shit to you. He's gonna turn on you in that day. Like fuck this shit. This human can't feed me no more. So I've got to feed myself. You know, I gotta take matters into my own mouth. You know, I would say hand, but mouth make more sense. You know, he gonna turn on you. You can be like, oh shit, you know. And it's a lot of these dogs that's in the hood. A lot of these dogs that's in the hood, they're fucking rowdy as fuck. You you walk by these dogs, Beast Wars, Beast Wars. you walk by, you walk by these households with fences and shit, got big ass fences and shit. Beware of dog signs and shit. So them dogs be fucking growling, yo. Them dogs be ready to tear into you. Like, like oh shit, man. Imagine when, and this is when they're being fed. Imagine when they ain't got no food. They gonna turn on their owners, then they gonna turn on your ass. Be chasing you down the streets and shit. Packs of fucking dogs. They're gonna click up. The strongest dogs are gonna survive. You know, you could see it. They're gonna be literally packs of dogs hunting you niggas and you wicked Jezebel bitches, hunting y'all down. You shameless women that are counted as dogs, right? Hunting y'all down as well. It's gonna get ugly out here. And that's Jeremiah chapter 15. Then said Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. Verse 2, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. Verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith Yahweh, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Yep, the beasts of the earth, hey, the dogs to tear, that's a hell of a way to die too, being torn apart by a pack of dogs. That's a hell of a way to die. Horrible, gut-wrenching way to die. And the the fowls of the heavens, yo. The fowls of the heavens. Oh shit. That hell of a way to die too. You know, pecking you to death and shit, like in the movie The Birds. That's a scary ass movie for a reason. You know, pecking your eyes out and shit, and then them flocks of birds fucking going at the rest of your body because you can't fucking see shit. Hey, them birds of prey, man, especially, man, they something else, man. They something terrible. They nothing to play with. Their talons, man. Them talons are fucking sharp, man. You know, a falcon can fucking zoom into. They got eyes that can zoom into his target, like when it's fucking far as fuck, like think about 280 miles away in the sky, man. When this falcon is high as fuck in the sky and far as fuck, it can see its target, it can zoom into it. You know, and then fly fast as fuck, snatch your ass. You know, I can see a lot of the kids getting snatched up by these birds of prey, man. Could see that shit happening. Them owls, man. Hey, gotta go outside for some shit. Your kid get away from you. You know, owl could snatch him up. And the hawks, them eagles, man. Hey, they ain't nothing to play with. They ain't nothing to play with. And I had a dream about them too. I had a dream about them huge ass eagle looking creatures, man. They was super down on people, man. Way back, I did a live on it. Shit was hitting the fan. It was like a so-called natural disaster type event as well. A hurricane that hit Miami and shit. I remember. I had a dream. It was fucking eagle-like creatures and shit. Big as fuck. Swooping down and fucking people up. And it was this beast that was like a fucking cat-like beast. It was like but it was big as fuck though. Like a cougar. Or like a puma, like a panther, man. Oh, the mountain lions, they're gonna fucking get busy out here, them beasts of the earth. The mountain lions, you know, you heard about y'all, I'm sure y'all heard about that mountain lion that was in that suburb in Cali. All them Edomites are at. They're just ready. The mountain lion was ready, you know, stalking people and shit, ready to ready to pounce on them devils out there. You know, these mountain lions, they're gonna start creeping into the cities. They're gonna start creeping into the hoods where you wicked ass niggas are at. They're gonna start they're gonna start creeping in there. Them coyotes, man. There was an incident with the coyotes out in Colorado. And coyote was fucking people up. And it was in Chicago. Actually, Slovakia, not in Colorado, in Chicago, right? Coyotes going in the cities, fucking wolves, shit, fucking foxes, raccoons, shit. Gonna get real out here, man. Gonna have these wild beast bears. They're gonna go into these cities, man. Hey, and these are these animals that are out there in the wild. What about these animals that are in them zoos? Who's gonna take care of the zoo animals after shit hit the fan? Nobody, right? So these zoo animals are gonna get loose somehow. Either they're gonna escape, like they're gonna fuck the zookeeper up like at perfect time, before his shit hit the fan or while it's hitting the fan. Or or some animal activist dude is gonna free them. Like fuck this shit, we can't leave the beasts in there. Oh, let's free them. Yeah, people today that would do that shit. And or an angel could free him in some areas. Just have a just have an angel unlock all them cages and let all them beasts free. Shit gonna be terrible, man. You have lions, tigers, no other types of bears that's not in your area. They in the zoos. Shit. You have fucking apes, you have fucking all types of animals in them zoos. They gonna they gonna let loose out here. They ain't gonna have no food once they come out here. So who they gonna feast on? The people out here, the Babylonians, and that's them. That's these beasts that we know about. What about first off the dinosaurs? They wasn't killed off. They didn't. They not extinct. Most High Yahweh just hit them. Leviathan is an example of a dinosaur that live in the water. Behemoth is an example of a dinosaur that live on land. Behemoth would probably be the Stegosaurus. And it's the dinosaurs, and they have like depictions of raptors and shit. The natives of Brazil, the tribe of Asher, right? They have depictions of them, depictions of the T-Rex and shit. What? During these times, in Africa, the Congo, them Hamites and Jakes that are out there. They have depictions of them and shit. They talked about they seen a creature which they described just like a raptor. Even caught them on video. So in the Amazon, the biggest fucking rainforest on earth. I mean, that would be where they would hide, where the Most High Yahweh would hide the dinosaurs in another rainforest as well. And hey, Amazon right there. Hey, and other places where they have them hid, the Most High Yahweh gonna let them loose. Better believe it. That's why Jurassic World they in Jurassic World they show them coming to fucking Babylon at the end of the movie. They gonna be let loose as well as these unknown newly created beasts the Esau's created. Khan. Ezekiel 14 and 15. If I cause nose and beast to pass through the land, and they spoiled it, so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through because of the beast. Khan. No man may pass through because it's no one's gonna be able to put these beasts down. They're gonna be out here fucking shit up. tearing shit up. It's exactly what he's gonna do, man. Because these animals, like, people don't understand, they're actual weapons. They're spirits created for vengeance. Yeah. In verse 16, though these men were in it, Noah, Daniel, and Job, right? Verse 14, though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by the righteousness, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yup. The elect be delivered, but the rest get destroyed, right? In verse 16, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, they only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Yup. And he's gonna bring all this. And also, there's this. There's this right here. This as well. Also, that shows you that, hey, Noah, Daniel, and Job are in it, man. Why would he say something like that? You know, hey, you already know it. You already know. Let me get this. You already know, standing our lot at the end of the days. Job talk about that as well, man die. A man die, shall he live again? You already know. I'll wait until my change come. And these are the times of Noah, so you probably have, these are the times of Noah, the days of Noah all over again. So you probably do have Noah back again as well. Everybody back in their lot, right? Spirit of the prophets, subject under the prophets. Let me get this spirits created for vengeance though. Let me get that. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. What are these? Fire, verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Verse 31, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Yup. So all these was created for vengeance. And they were going to rejoice in his commandment, more than happy to do it. They ready, more than happy to do it. And when their time has come, they shall not transgress his word, Hey, those are the Most High Yahweh's weapons, Most High Yahweh has all types of weapons, and these beasts are also weapons. Yeah. Yeah, 39 and 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. So they also weapons, used to judge the wicked. Yeah. And one of them is a unknown wild beast, right? Yeah, let me get that. With the ones that Esau be making. And Esau be making them in the labs and shit. In Area 51. You already know it. Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18. Well, let me get the last the last one, Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 17. For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, when it not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions. Hey. Verse 18, or unknown wild beasts, full of rage, newly created, breathing out either fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. Verse 19, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroy them. Hey, fierce, fierce, fierce looking beasts. Just the sight will make you give up the ghost. Verse 20, yeah, and without these might they have fallen down with one blast, being persecuted of vengeance, and scattered abroad throughout thy breath of power. But thou hast ordered all things in measure, number, and weight. And what are the times that are coming? Described as a time like no other. Yeah. So it is a time when the Most High Yahweh, he's going to unleash. He's going to go all out. Hey, he's going to cry all out. Hey, he's going to cry out at once, cry out and devour at once like a travailing woman. Like, let me get that precept. He has held his peace. Oh, Khan. Isaiah 42 and 14. 13. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. Verse 14. I have long time holding my peace. I've been still refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. Verse 15, I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will drive the pools. Yep. Cry out. He's gonna cry and he's gonna cry out like a trailing woman and destroy and devour at once. Like, hey, he's gonna basically unleash on you devils, on you 2/3. On you fucking heathens. He's gonna release. And there's another one. There's another one. In certain North Alabama zip codes, no mail will be delivered. It's all coming down to the wire. Let me get this one right here. Wisdom of Solomon 17. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17 is actually a heavy chapter, and it actually goes for what's going on right now, because this chapter is an explanation of what was happening to the Egyptians during the plague of darkness. And what are we having? These blackouts. And you 2/3 going to be judged first, which is why it's happening to y'all first. And then you fucking Edomites. You Edomites as well, because y'all are the modern day Egyptians. Let me get this precept. Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 19. Or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or running that could not be seen of skipping beasts, or a roaring voice of most savage wild beasts, or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them to swoon for fear. Yep. All this shit going on while what is dark as fuck too, and you can't see shit. Dark as fuck, cold, and you can't see shit. Oh, that is terrible culmination right there. That's a terrible culmination. That's hell. That is hell. And that's what's coming to this place. Hey, I'm gonna bring out wisdom chapter 17, you know. Cause hey, that kind of does apply here. Verse 1, for great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed, therefore unnurtured souls have erred, you know. This could read just like a horror story too. Just like it. Verse 12, for when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, laid their exile from the eternal providence. Yeah, prisoners of darkness, man. That darkness make you not want to do shit. Verse 3, for while they supposed to lie hid in the secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. Yep. Hey, strange apparitions, right? Horribly astonished and troubled with them. Hey, while they were supposed to lie hid in their secret sins. And now they being judged for it. Verse 4, for neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, when noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances. Yep. Heavy countenances, like, that means it's scary as fuck. Them faces that these demons have, scary as fuck, right? Their face alone, you know, just seeing them demons alone fucks you up. Yeah. And noises as the waters falling down, sounding about them. You know, and you don't fucking see shit, you just hear it. That shit will creep you the fuck out. Yeah, neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, you know. They're backed into a corner, but that don't even help them. Whew, that shit, that shit ain't no joke, man. Just reading that, I could picture it, and it's like, oh fuck, that ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. Verse 5, hey, verse 5, no power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Hey, that's terrible just thinking about it. Just picturing it gives you some goosebumps just thinking about it, right? Hey, gonna be like the movie Ghostbusters kind. Hey, it's gonna be like the worst horror movie you ever saw, but way worse. Because actually, reality. First off, second of all, it's gonna be way worse than what's happening in that horror movie. It's 2:44. Been on here 2 hours 44 minutes, 40 some seconds. Kala Yalba Shimi Al Shai. Yeah, it's gonna be something terrible. Think of the most scariest, the most fucked up horror movie you've ever seen. Or even heard of. It's gonna be way worse than that. It's gonna be that shit on steroids. Whew, hey, that shit. Just hey. That just thinking about it make you feel make you get creep you out, you know, give you them goosebumps. Verse 5, no power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. So the power's out. So what do people do? Light candles, right? So that they can have light, or even shine that little flashlight. But eventually that battery gonna go out. Hey, Kala Yalba Shimyo Shai. Yep. Yeah, eventually that battery gonna go out. You know, you ain't got no flashlight. So, hey, what people do, they light candles, right? Well, what we just read, no power of the fire might no power of the fire might give them light. Neither could the bright flames of the stars. Yep, not even the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. You know, not even they, not even that gonna help. You know, it might be an overcast day. It might be an overcast night, right? The stars are completely covered. The moon is completely covered. You know, and you know, in them horror films, they have the demons will blow out the candles and shit. Hey, you know, you gotta picture this. Actually, Esau's kind of showing you a glimpse of that shit. Hey, you know, you're gonna think that a candle is gonna give you light, but these demons are gonna blow it out, you know. And they be, hey, when a demon go through where you're at, go through your crib, you know, your room real fast and shit, you know, they can make that they can make the air move like that as well, you know. So a demon could just blow your shit out and you're stuck in the dark. Verse 6, only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight that they saw not. Hey, shit gonna be terrible, man. A, a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. Think of them horror films where, you know, some dudes are outside with a campfire and shit. And it's dark as fuck around them. Like, okay, like what's that one movie though about something about a witch, right? The the Blair Witch Project, right? They're in the fucking woods, in the middle of the fucking woods, and it's pitch black, and they light a campfire, you know, and shit. I think it's the part where a demon fuck with them. I think it's the part where a demon fuck with them in that movie. You know, they because hey, these demons are spirits, right? Spirits is energy, right? So they could actually appear in that fire, you know, like do some shit, you know, kind of they appear to you in that fire and shit, scare the fuck out of you. Hey, these demons are gonna manifest themselves in these days, man. Scare the fuck out of people. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight that they saw not. You know, much worse. Verse 7, as for the illusions of art, magic, they were put down, and their vaulting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. So the illusions of art magic, right, was speaking of is verse 8, for they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. Yup. So people like exorcists, for example, that are supposed to help with shit like that. And shit started feeling eerie after I talk about wisdom of Psalm in chapter 17. All that's real. Yeah, these priests, these exorcists, you know, your pastor, there's a lot of Ishkar where I live. You know, a lot of Ishkar, you know, they're gonna call upon they priests, or they're gonna call upon a brujo, man. There's a lot of Ishkars into brujeria, which also, you know, tells me that that plague of darkness is gonna be real bad where I'm at, San Antonio. As Ishkar is heavy into brujeria, so they're gonna go and they're gonna go to these brew holes, try to get answers from. Gotta get this demon out my crib, right? You know, if they can get a hold of him, they're gonna try to get answers from him, but it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, you know. Ishkar, man, y'all gotta repent from that shit. Y'all going the fuck off, and that brujeria shit, that ain't gonna help you. All that brujeria that y'all are doing, you so-called Latinos, a lot of y'all so-called Mexicans are into that shit. That brujeria that y'all doing, man, is gonna turn back and bite y'all in the ass. Them demons that y'all working with, they're gonna come fuck with you. They're gonna be them same demons that fuck with you. You know, hey, for they that promise to drive away tears and troubles from a sick soul, were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. You know, and hey, man, yeah, it started to feel real weird. You know, I had some demon around here, man. Hey, that shit, them demons they about to, they about to make themselves known to people like for real. It's about to get real bad out here. Hey, Agari Kashtan by Shimi Hao by Shimi Hao Shai, Arashika Shatan by Shimi Hao by Shimi Hao Shai, Nadad Mayanya Shatan by Shimi Hao by Shimi Hao Shai. Yeah. You feel that eerie presence? You know, that's you know some demon is around. Yeah. Verse 9, and this is when the lights on and everything. Verse 9, for though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents. Yep. Like, even if nothing's fucking with you at the moment, right? But you're in darkness. It's dark as fuck. You don't know what the fuck going on. You know, you're gonna kind of be on edge. You know, especially there's beasts that pass by and hissing the serpents. Like, you're gonna be on edge because you can't see them. You don't know where they're coming. You know whether they're coming for your ass or not. Verse 10, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided. Verse 11, for wickedness condemned by her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasted grievous things, you know, because if you're going the fuck off, you know, and you know you're going the fuck off, you know, you just like, you're already on edge, man. You're already expecting some bad shit to happen to you. Yeah, Khan, you're already expecting it. That's why, hey, a lot of these females, man, and some of these, hey, a lot of these niggas as well, man. You know, when the lights would go out in school, they'd be scared. You know, you hear these females fucking screaming and shit when the light went out. You know, when there was a storm and then the light would go out, a lot of these females would fucking scream. You know, a lot of them was wicked as fuck. They knew it would, they knew that might be their ass. Well, you know, they was thinking that might be their ass. You know, hey, and a lot of you dudes too. Like, a lot of you niggas out here, man. Y'all gonna, y'all gonna be scared as fuck. You're gonna be like, oh, a woman in travail. Like, you're gonna be like, hey, it's a verse that talks about that, man. Like, why is every man, hey, does man basically, can man have a child? Basically, they asked that question. Jeremiah, Jeremiah, it's in Jeremiah 16, I believe, or wherever it speaks about Jacob's trouble. Yeah. Yeah, Jeremiah 30, verse 6. Asking now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning to paleness. Now you have to think. They'll look like basically they're sick as fuck. And now you have to think, what would make them? What would make a man be like that? A man whole with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces turning to paleness. You could be sick of fear. It literally says that they'll be sick themselves of fear. You could get so scared that you'll fucking get sick. You'll fucking get nauseous. You throw up. This happened. From horror movies. Imagine in real life. So if there's gonna be niggas like big tough street niggas out here like this, then hey, you women, man, y'all are just gonna, you wicked Eves out here, man, y'all are gonna be through, man. Forget about it. Hey, verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is he? The elect. Hey, this time the elect ain't gonna have that, are gonna be delivered from that plague of darkness. Oh, if demons come to fuck with an elect man, he rebuke them in the name, and they'll go away. However, we don't know how it's gonna be set up, whether it's gonna be like that, or whether like you'll get tested, and then you rebuke them like once or a few times, and then you won't have to deal with them no more, or you're literally gonna have light where you're at, and everybody else is gonna be in darkness. Yeah. Verse yeah, we don't know how it's gonna pan out, but we do know like that the elect are gonna be delivered. Verse 12, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offered, which succors basically means comfort. There's demons fucking with me. Agari Kushatan by Shimi Hawa by Shimi Al Shai. Arashika Shatan by Shimi Hawa by Shimi Al Shai. Nadad Mayanya Shatan by Shimi Hawa by Shimi Al Shai. Yeah, demons will do that shit too. They'll do some annoying shit to you. Verse 12, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors, which reason offers. So basically, if you don't know what the fuck is going on, then you can't reason that fear away. Basically, you can't be like, oh yeah, no, it's this. See, because you won't be able to see shit. You don't know where the noise is coming from. Verse 13, and the expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. Yup. So even just not knowing what the fuck is around you, hearing noises, bumps in the night, right? And not knowing what the fuck is causing it, that would be enough to trip you out. Hey, but actual apparitions are gonna be popping up out of the woodwork and shit. Apparitions are gonna be showing up, tormenting people, fucking with people. Verse 14, but they sleep in the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came up upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell. Verse 15, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their heart failing them, for a sudden fear and not looked for came upon him. Shit. Hey, when something like that make you get goosebumps because that shit right there. Hey, hey, just reading that, yo, like that ain't no joke, man. That really ain't no joke. You know, you're just chilling and shit, and then the power goes out. Oh fuck, and then it's dark as fuck. You're like, oh shit, and then a fucking demon appear and shit. That shit's scary, bro. That shit's scary for real. Like, hey, a sudden fear not looked for came upon them. Verse, hey, the Most High Yahweh, man. He hey, when yo, man, he ain't nothing to be played with. He ain't nothing to be played with for real. He ain't nothing to be played with. He really is the king of terrors. Verse 16, so then whosoever there fell down was straightly kept shut down in a prison without iron bars, yo. Like they couldn't fucking move. Like they was frozen from fear, man. They was like they was afraid to make a move. God, Job 18 and 11, terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Yup. Whoo, Khan. Verse 17, for whether he were husbandman or shepherd or laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured that necessity which could not be avoided, for they were all bound with one chain of darkness. Scared shitless. Scared shitless. Whew. Yeah. Shit. That ain't no joke, man. That's that type of shit that will make you give up the ghost. You know, back in days of ancient Egypt, when these demons would appear to them, they're giving up the ghost, a lot of them. And same on this side, people giving up the ghost, like, oh shit. You know, that oh shit moment is going to be too much. It's going to make them not only shit themselves, going to make them, hey, give up the ghost. Going to be, going to be heart stopping, right? Verse 18, whether it were whistling wind, or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasing fall of water running violently. Verse 19, or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or running that could not be seen of skipping beasts, or a roaring voice of most savage wild beasts, or rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them to swoon for fear. Yep. Shit. Yeah, made them to swoon for fear. Whew. Yep. Hey, you know how it is? Hey, a whistling wind. You know how it is in them scary movies? A whistling wind. Like no. It's like that type of shit, or that type of shit. Or melodious noise of birds around the mountain among the spreading branches. Yeah, man. Or pleasing fall of water running violently. Hey, you know, all these noises, don't know what the fuck causing them. Terrible sounds, stones cast down. All this shit you can picture. And then, hey, that shit is scary as fuck. A terrible sound of stones cast down. A running that could not be seen, a skimming beast. Yep. Roaring voice, the most savage beast. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. That shit. Hey, that sounds like a horror movie, yo. That sounds just like a horror movie. A rebounding echo. You know, a beast fucking growl and that shit echo from the mountains. Like, oh fuck. That shit's scary. Verse 20, for the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Verse 21, over them only them was spread in heavy night, an image of that darkness which should afterward receive them, but yet were they unto themselves more grievous in that darkness. Yeah, yeah. They, it was like death, you know. It was like death. All these demons fucking with them and shit. Well, they will catch in that hell, because hell's a condition, not a place, right? And they was catching straight hell. And that's what's coming here. Straight hell. A heavy night. Hey, what did uh what did Joe Biden say? A dark winter's coming, right? Goes right back to that. The dark winter. Not a cold and dark. And fucking apparitions fucking with you and shit. Whew. That ain't no joke. You're gonna be frozen, literally, and frozen with fear also. That ain't no joke. That is not no joke. That hey, terrible times, man. That's why Yahweh said in Matthew 24, basically, let me get it. Well, hey, let me get it. Matthew 24 and 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbat, man. Hey, because shit hit the fan during the winter. All this shit happened during the winter. That makes it even worse. Plague of darkness, blackouts, monstrous apparitions, and it's cold as fuck, and you're freezing. Bone chilling and bone chilling at the same time. Most High Yahweh don't play. You know, there might be that, you know, like that article said, that parts of Texas that might not get their power back until a month. Might have that. batteries run out. Hey, it's gonna be something terrible. It's gonna be something terrible for real. Oh, let me get Second Ezra's 15, chapter 15, where it talk about Egypt getting plagued again. I believe it's 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and destroy all the land thereof. And one of these plagues was what? Hey, Exodus. Hey, that plague of darkness, right? Hey, Exodus 10 and 22. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven. And verse 21. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be. Even 20. But Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go. You know what happened before, because that's exactly what these modern day Pharaohs are doing today. So, verse 21. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Also, this time around, 2/3 of Jake, their hearts are also hardened. You know, they're not wanting to come back to the Most High Yahweh. You know, and the Son Yahweh Shai and repent. So verse 21, and Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be a darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Verse 20, that heavy. And verse 22, and Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Verse 23, they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Yup. Yeah, it was fucking scary as fuck, man. Yeah. That plague of darkness that's gonna hit, man. You know, also listed in Revelation, a plague of darkness. Revelation chapter 16, I believe. Yeah. Revelation 16 and verse 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. It was darkness that could even be felt, you know. A left hand energy, a left hand vibe that's so powerful, that is so noticeable, that is so heavy that it causes pain. Verse 11, and blasphemed the God of heaven, the power of heaven, because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. Yep. There's also one spoken here, you know, there's a plague of darkness coming, which that's spoken of after the RFID chip get implemented or whatever. Meaning there may be one that they push out just to push that order wide KO, and then and then the actual EMP will hit this place. After the mark of the beast get implemented, so people's chips won't even work and shit. And then basically and then Russia nuke this place, because that'd probably actually be an EMP that Russia or North Korea, China would launch, take out the grid and take out everything electronic. Could be two parts to it. One, because this is Egypt all over again, and then the other part after. Who knows how it's gonna pan out, but it might pan out like that. And then who are people gonna be going to help going to Egypt, going to Esau for help? Yeah, that ain't gonna be a good choice. That y'all gonna fuck up. Y'all, that's actually gonna be the worst choice that y'all gonna make. The best choice that you could make as an Israelite, as a so-called Black, Latino, Native American, or Israel, or a speckled bird, is to repent and start following the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's the best choice that you can make today. and then, tune into the Akim. So to GMS and like-minded Akim and get edified. The best choice you can make. The best choice. You'd be in the best position out of all the people in the world, out of all the Israelites. You would be in the best position if you did that. Because you do that, there's a chance that you could be the elect. Ecclesiasticus 16 and 15. Yahweh hardened Pharaoh that he should not know him, that his powerful works might be known to the world. So in the same way, Esau is being hardened. Esau's heart is being hardened. And you 2/3 children of your father, the devil, you're following the ways of Esau, so you're also being hardened. Hey, he that hardeneth his neck, suddenly, that hardeneth his neck, being reproved often, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Speaking of you 2/3, let me get this first. Romans 9, 13 on down, because 13 tell you who it's talking about. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Verse 14, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. Verse 15, for he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Verse 16, so it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. Verse 17, even for the scriptures say unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. There you go. That's why he was raised up. Verse 18, therefore had thee mercy on whom he will have mercy, and on whom he harden it. Verse 19, thou will say unto me, I'm going to read all the way down because the point is all the way down there. I'm going to get to the point when I get down to where I need to get down to. Verse 19, there thou will say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For whom has resisted his will? Y'all want to question what Most High how doing, it go into that basically. Y'all want to basically, or y'all don't think that there is a Most High. I addressed that in my last life. Verse 20, nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh, shall think for saying to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Verse 21, had not the powder power over the clay, over the same lump, to make one vessel unto honor and another into dishonor? So, you Edomites, you Edomites, you self-proclaimed white folks, they go back to the first so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Y'all are that vessel in the dishonor, man. Y'all was created to be. I have to say that because of the speckled birds. It's the only reason why I'm saying that, because I'm talking about Edomites here. But y'all are that vessel in the dishonor. Verse 22. What if Yahweh willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Verse 23, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. So, yeah, created y'all just to be destroyed in the end. Vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Verse 24, speaking of Yasharallah, even us whom he have called not of the Jews only, meaning the circumcision, of course, but also the Gentiles, meaning the Israelite foreigners, meaning them, the strangers, right? Those are the Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that were scattered. the Israelites that lost their identity, which is all of us on this side. We all lost our identity and our heritage. Our heritage was taken from us. That was prophecy too. Your heritage is part of it is knowledge of who you are, like your nationality. Which is that's in Jeremiah. Even he would lose his nationality. Let me just bring that out real quick and then move on. Con. Jeremiah 17:4, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger which shall burn forever. A very long time, that go into. Our people, man, went the fuck off. Our people was stiff necked. Our people been stiff necked. Let me get a precept on that, because y'all's hearts were also hardened. He that hardeneth his neck. Let me get that. Proverbs 29:1-3. Proverbs 29:1-3. He that being often reproved hardeneth his just verse 1, hardeneth his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Yup. That's right. Yeah. So, hey, you 2/3 are often reproved, and because y'all always going off, and y'all harden y'all's necks. Y'all always getting reproved. Y'all harden y'all neck. Y'all harden your necks, man. And hey, y'all gonna suddenly be destroyed and without remedy. Most High Yahweh gonna let Esau roll on you 2/3. He's gonna let this devil have y'all low hanging fruit for real. Y'all easy picking. The elect, they the fruit that's on the top. The elect that Esau, the elect is the fruit that Esau can't reach. And 2/3, y'all the low hanging fruit that Esau can easily pick off. The Most High Yahweh gonna let Esau have y'all. Hey, y'all gonna fall into the condemnation of the devil. He gonna let Esau have y'all. Let me get a precept on that. Cause I'm gonna get a precept on the sword being sharpened. And then link it with the 2/3. I'll wrap it up soon. Because the precept about a sword is sharpened and even furbished. Let me get this one. Wait, about the men that ain't signing crying for the abominations. Hey, the world tell you that don't sigh and cry. Don't sigh and cry. Be all right with the abominations. Let me get this precept though. Zephaniah 1 and 12. And it shall come to pass in that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leaves, settled at the bottom, right? Settled basically on their ass. That say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Verse 12, therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Yep. Verse 14, the great day of Yahweh is near and hasted greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. So you thug niggas, right? Your gangbangers out there. Y'all gonna cry there bitterly, man. Y'all gonna cry there bitterly when Esau roll, when he send them Gurkha troops. We send them Gurkha UN troops, right? Them blue helmets. Y'all gonna cry there bitterly. Hey, when these apparitions hit, y'all gonna cry there bitterly. What are you gonna do? Like try to throw hands with the demon? Nah, you know that ain't gonna work. Y'all gonna cry there bitterly. Verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Hey, verse 16, a day of the trumpet, alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Verse 17, and I'll bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men. When you're in total darkness, when it's thick black darkness and you can't see shit in front of your face, hey, it's like you're blind, because they have sinned against Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Great death is coming. Because these beasts, they're also going to take advantage of it. Remember, this darkness is going to be upon the wicked and the wicked of our nation. These beasts, they going to see. They're going to be out there. They're going to be out there fucking people up. You didn't even know the beast was coming till you eat your ass up. Verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath. That your silver and your gold, your money, whether it's real money or that funny money, that the FRNs, right? Federal Reserve notes, ain't gonna be able to save you. Hey, them Federal Reserve notes, they gonna be like toilet paper in that day. Anyways. But the whole land, even if they was worth something, they wouldn't be able to save you. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Hey, you 2/3, man. You 2/3. Y'all got hell. A whole lot of hell in store for y'all. Ezekiel 21:8. Again, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, verse 9, a son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. Verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. Verse 11, and he had given, so should we then make mirth? Like y'all was trying to make mirth. Well, now that mirth is dying down, but before y'all was making mirth, but his place is through, y'all through. So there's no reason for that. Verse 11, and he had given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer. Hey, Esau's the sword of the Most High Yahweh, and his blessing is the sword. Verse 12, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. Verse 13, because it is a trial, what is the sword contemneth even the rod? It shall be no more, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 14, now therefore, son of man, prophesy, and smite thine hands. So together, and let the sword be doubled the third time, the sword of the slain. It is the sword of the great men that are slain, which enter into their private chambers. Verse 15, I have set the point of the sword against all their gates, that their heart may faint, and their ruins be multiplied. It is made bright, it is wrapped up for the slaughter. Hey, that sword, man, that's coming. That's Esau's shock troops, Esau's stormtroopers. That's coming. His fucking stormtroopers, right? A storm is coming, like Trump said. It's stormtroopers. Hey, winter storm, right? They bring that winter storm, and then they gonna bring. They also had a movie called Winter Soldier that came out. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. They showing you what their plans are. Have them super soldiers roll up, Have them UN shock troops roll up. That's what they planning on doing. It ain't really the National Guard you got to worry about. National Guard, a lot of them have families that's from that area. Then you don't have to worry as much about them as even regular Babylonian American troops, right? Because they're not going to go as hard as the UN troops. When the UN troops have no attachment to this place. In fact, a lot of them are from countries that are enemies of Babylon, like Russia. So UN troops, they're gonna take full advantage of that chance to fuck you Babylonians up. The Medes, right? The Medes are gonna let loose in that day, the great day of the Lord, great day of Yahweh. The Medes, man. Isaiah, the Medes spoken of in Isaiah chapter 13. The Russians, those are the modern day Medes. And the Iranians are the Persians. The Medes and the Persians, they together again, just like they was back then, The Russians, of course, they're Edomites, but they're acting as the Medes. To take down the modern day Babylonians, which are also Edomites. Isaiah 13 and 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Verse 16, their children shall also be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Yup. All that shit real. You know how Esau get down. It's even some worse shit that's probably gonna happen. Not just your wives being ravished. Because Esau, he's fucking sodomite and a pedophile. Verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You ain't gonna be able to pay these Gurkha troops off. Hey, when Igor, Igor and Vladimir, when them and their and their company, when they fucking roll on your hood, when they fucking pull up on you, you ain't gonna be able to do shit. You ain't gonna be able to pay them off even. They don't care about that shit. Verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. Super soldiers are programmed to do one thing. Verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall not have pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, which really, specifically, that's talking about the nukes that's going to hit this place, final destruction of it. The grand finale of all this. Like right now, we're at the beginning. The nukes are the grand finale. Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the grand finale right there. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah had fire and brimstone rain upon them, same thing gonna happen to this place. Nuclear missiles, basically, they have that in them. No lie. They have that same elements in them. So it's like fire and brimstone falling from heaven. Because what? The skies are the heavens, right? So it's going out like Sodom and Gomorrah. The ultimate fate of this place. Jacob's trouble, even before then Jacob's trouble is going to be pure hell. And you can already see it. You can already see that American, aka Babylonian, or that Babylonian, aka American dream turn into a nightmare. You could already see it. We're at that point right now, actually, where the Babylonian dream is changed, where that dream, where everything is just fine, it's all good in the neighborhood, changing over to a nightmare. Them type of dreams? Them type of dreams, right? Where you start out, and it's all good, it's all peaches and cream, and then shit starts changing. We're at the point where it's changing, and you still have the prophets telling you to wake up. That's like your mom or your dad, telling you to wake up. Shit, even whooping your ass trying to wake you up. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up, nigga. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Get up. You late. Cause cause you snooze your alarm. Now you're oversleeping. And you don't even listen to their ass. So you're gonna hey, you don't miss the bus, man. You don't miss the chariots. Stay in this bitch. Even before that, you're not gonna be out there for the bus. If you're not out there for the bus ready, you're gonna miss it. Because y'all 2/3, you're not gonna have that covering that's from the Most High Yahweh. You're not gonna have that covering that is of a spirit. You're not gonna be in that strong tower. You're gonna be locked out of the tower. You're banging on the door trying to open. No one's here. It's gonna be like no one's here because no one's gonna open. Proverbs 18. Hey, just like y'all was knocking on that ark. Open up. Open up. We're sorry, Noah. we're sorry we talked shit and we scoffed at you and doubted what you said. We believe you now. Like no shit, of course, because it's happening. You're not gonna be able to get in at that point. Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous run it into it and is safe. Really, the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Strong. That's a strong tower. You know, the strongest ever. Call on Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, and be saved. The righteous run it into it and is safe. There you go. But you 2/3 are gonna be locked out of that tower. You know, so when the storm hit, when the floods come, it's gonna take you away. All right, so with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire, shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Yeah, I hope this live was edifying. You know, hey, shalom to the real sisters out there. I hope this live was edifying. Hey, stay strong. We almost out of here. We almost out of here. Like you could tell, you know, the signs are bright and loud and clear. You know, they it's like they being shouted from the mountain tops with the megaphone. It's like they on blast. So ain't no excuse. You just gotta have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. But you know, you 2/3 don't have that, but the elect do. The House of David, the Bayat Dawudah, y'all do, you know, salute, hey, shalom to y'all, you know. Stay strong out there. Stay strong out there. It's gonna be a rough ride. You know, the road to the kingdom, the road to the kingdom, the road to the hidden kingdoms hidden for us. Kingdom of Yasharallah is gonna be bumpy, man. Road to that city, that golden city, it's gonna be bumpy. On one side of fire and on the other side of water. That little you know, you could visualize it, right? That little you visualize a bridge, and on one side of the bridge is water that's deep as fuck, and on the other side is fire. And the elect is walking that bridge. The elect gonna make it. He that endured to end shall be saved. Matthew 24:13. You know, but the key is that gotta endure. But he that endure, basically, you know, you endure, making on them chariots, all that, make it all the way through. That mean you the elect, straight up. Hey, so with that, Shalom. Hey, stay strong. Shalom. Esau, you're through. You're done. It's over with. Get over it. I know you won't, but I'm still going to tell you, you know, hey, Yashrala.